Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's class about how to write an effective business plan. And as we said last week, we wanted to do this class because we have entrepreneurs from different levels. We have the small business enterprises and the small business owners actually who have started their own business. But you realize that in most cases, you find that most of these people do not have a business plan. So that means they are running their business without a plan on how they can actualize various targets that they have set in life. So every single day when they wake up, they look forward to a productive day, but they do not have specific targets that they can be able to achieve within a specific period of time. And that is why a business plan is always important because it helps you to plan on how you are going to run your business, which goals you are going to achieve, or which objectives you are going to achieve, and what your business is intended to achieve in the long run. So we can now go straight to looking at what is a business plan. So in most cases, you find that when we start this program, sometimes you find that people hear about what a business plan is, but they really have not known exactly what is the definition of a business plan. So a business plan is defined as a document which describes the goal and the objectives of the business and clearly how and when they will be achieved. So, as we have already said, the business plan is that particular document that you prepare in advance, actually, way before you start your business, so that you can be able to follow the goals that you have put in place, the objectives, to see how well you can be able to achieve them within a specific period of time. It can also be defined as a document that summarizes the operational and financial objectives of your business. And it contains a detailed plan and a budget to show you how you are going to achieve your objectives and at how much or at what cost. Yeah. So, in simple terms, it gives us the roadmap to the success of your business. So, once you start your business, you need to start looking at, for example, let's say 5 years' time, where do I need my business to be? And therefore, for you to be able to plan to see your business successive in those 5 years, you must be able to have a business plan so that it can be able to show you that in the first year, this is where your business will be, the second year, the third year, the fifth year, the 10th year, and all that. So it gives a projection long term, and so that you can be able to see the roadmap of what your business needs to look like. It is a proposal that describes the business opportunity for financing agents. For example, you may be going, for example, to look for financing. Either you are looking for financing from a bank or from any person who want to achieve to finance your business, especially if you get an investor. You are actually going to pitch to this investor using your business plan. Because for somebody to invest in your business or in your venture, somebody must be able to see how your business is going to transform or to become in the next like 5 years. Is it a profitable business? And this can only be shown by a business plan. So now, why do I need to write a business plan? Why should I write a business plan? The first reason as to why you should write a business plan is to ensure that you give a guideline or a guiding principle in operating your business. How do I plan to guide my business, or how do I plan to operate this business of mine? The next one is to obtain financing. In most cases, you find that when you start a business, you may not be having adequate finances. Or if you have adequate financing for yourself, you need to plan on how you can be able to do what? To utilize the funds. And therefore, business plan enables you to obtain financing from various organizations. Similarly, it guides in managing your business. For instance, those who have businesses, they are actually managing their own businesses. You are the manager of your own business. But now the question is, as you are managing your business, do you have the guiding principle on how you manage your business? What do you want to achieve? How do you achieve it? This is what the business plan injects into your business. It also communicates clearly to the interested parties in terms of how they are appreciated or how they can be able to participate in your business. For example, you have, if for example you have started a business as a company or as a partnership, you have various stakeholders. How is their interest catered for? And is it anchored in an operating document of the business? So, if, for example, you have started your business, you should be in a position to communicate clearly to the interested parties their role, the employees, various employees that you want to engage. You have the managerial employees, you have the various employees working at different levels, up to the subordinate staff who are going to work within your business. You need to clearly show how they are going to come in and what expertise they bring into your business. And lastly, this business plan acts as a marketing tool for the business. Why am I saying so? I'm saying so because a business plan tells you the areas that you need to market. For instance, once you do your business plan, it will actually clearly show you who are your competitors. It will show you who is in the same field or in the same business that you are, and who can you work with. Who can you work with so that you can be able to grow your business to the required levels. And therefore, in this particular part is that when you look at the business plan, it will be able to show you the areas that you need to capitalize on. And therefore, that is why it is always important to have this important document. And now, the main question that comes into the mind is, when are you supposed to do your business plan? Because, as I have already said, you need to do your business plan immediately you decide to start a business. So once you decide to start a business, you can actually start your business plan so that it can be able to give you a roadmap of how to start, where to get the finances, and how to utilize the finances to achieve specific goals that are set by your business plan. So that is the time you need to start your writing your business plan. But also, you can do your business plan immediately you realize that it is important. Like now, for those who have not started, this is the right time to start doing your business plan. But for those who have not started, no, those who have already started, you can start doing your business plan as soon as today. Why? Because once you realize that you need this business plan, you can actually go ahead and get there, your details ready, you start working on your business plan because it will enable you to move your business to the next level. So anytime one decides to start a business and running it in a structured way, that is the time that is important in starting to write your business plan. Therefore, what I'm saying is that you need to do your business plan as soon as you decide to start your business. But if you have already started, you can still do your business plan so that you can give it an official structured position so that you can be able to run your business professionally. You can also do your business plan when updating as required, especially when the owner wants to expand the business. Maybe you had a business plan, you didn't expect that your business will grow to the magnitude that it has grown. You have now started introducing new products or new services. It is always important that you can be able to do what? To do your business plan so that it can enable you to move your business to the required level. So as you expand your business, it should be done within the measured levels so that it does not affect the growth of your business. Now, who writes the business plan? Who writes you the business plan? So in most cases, you'll find that all of us can do a business plan. Like that is the reason as to why I'm doing this particular video, so that you can be able to learn how you can do your business plan on your own. However, if you are not able to do your business plan on your own, it's always important that you can actually think about having a consultant. There are several consultancies which can enable you to do your business plan. Like now at Shining Institute, we can actually train you on how to write your own business plan. But still, if you want us to help you to do or to write your business plan, we can work with you as we do your business plan so that you can come out with a special document that can enable you to move your business to the next level. So those are consultancies. So the consultancies can either be associated with either the banks or individual experts who have the know-how on how to do these business plans. So anytime you get an opportunity, just go ahead and do your business plan. Now, the other thing that I want us to look at is we want to look at what are some of the sources of information that we put in a business plan. What are some of the sources? The first source of the information that we put in a business plan is from the customers. Because before I start doing my business plan, I need to understand more about who are my customers, who will be my customers, what do they want, yeah? So that I don't start a business which is not solving any of their problems or any of their challenges. And therefore, at this particular point, uh, always get information from your customers to be so that you know this is what they need, this is when they need it, and this is how they need it. And then later, look at the consumers. Who are these people who are going to consume my products? Who are the people who are going to enjoy or get my services? So once you do that, you are able to know their special needs. And therefore, when your business comes in, it should be able to satisfy their needs. Number three, it's always important to get information from your suppliers. You might actually be tempted to underquote or overquote the prices. For instance, you are doing a business plan. You are trying to look at how much it will cost you to start a business, but you have not gotten information from the suppliers on how much they are selling their goods and products that you intend to sell. And therefore, it's always important that you get information from the suppliers, and the suppliers will enable you to get to know the cost of production or the cost of starting your business. And you can actually even be able to approximate the profits so that you are able to know exactly if I'm starting this business today, this is the much I need to start with, and this is the expected profit that I'm likely to get after a specific period of time. Now, what are some of the benefits of writing a business plan? The first benefit of starting or writing a business plan is that it is a financial tool that provides information if one wants to obtain a loan. For example, if you want to obtain financing from either the financial institutions or from investors or from those organizations which give the seed capital or something of the sort. So you need to have a business plan so that they can be able to see that the business you want to finance is a profitable business. Number two, you need to know that a business plan enables potential entrepreneurs to assess the viability of their business opportunities on paper. What does this mean? This means that in most cases you find that you have been doing maybe you have been thinking about how to start a business, a specific business, but you have never gone down to write this idea on paper. So a business plan enables you to write your idea on paper, and then you try to look at the workability of this particular idea. So as you look at the workability of this idea, you also look at the profitability, and at the end of the day, you look at if that particular business is sustainable. So in other words, for the business to be sustainable, it is business plan must be on point, knowing what are your objectives, what are your goals, and how do you plan to achieve them. So that is how you can actually be able to benefit from that document that we call the business plan. Number three, Number four is that it establishes the financial need of the business and suggests the possible sources of financing. So, meaning that once you start writing your business plan, you are able to know the possible financial needs of your particular business. For example, if you don't write a business plan, and you want to start, for example, a wholesale business, you don't know how much you need. But once you sit down and plan your business, this is the kind of stock I need, this is the kind of house I need, this is the place I want to put it. You exactly know the need, the financial need that that particular business requires for it to be successful. So this business plan enables you to plan in advance in terms of getting the amount of money that you require so that you can be able to start your business. Next is that this business plan tests your idea. It tests your idea. Is it viable? Is it workable? Yeah. Then it indicates the owner's ability and the commitment. So during the writing of the business plan, you will actually be able to ask yourself that one question that is important. Am I able to run or to run this particular business? Do I have the expertise? Do I have the available finances? Do I have what it takes to succeed in this business? So that if you do not have the required expertise and the required skills that you can be able to start this business, you don't actually even proceed from the planning stage. Or if you do not have the expertise, you decide and plan on how to acquire people with such similar expertise or the required expertise to help you to run that particular business. Therefore, at the business planning stage, the owner is able to assess their ability and commitment to do that particular business. And lastly, a business plan is a blueprint or a guideline. It helps you, it guides you from one step to the other. And that is why you find that if you do not have a business plan, you are likely to lose focus. You will find, for example, you have started, let's say, for example, you have started maybe the cleaning business, or you have started the selling of computer gadgets or phones. Then along the way, you want to start selling, let's say, for example, some cereals. Then along the way, you decide and say, no, let me introduce some other more services. I want to start doing catering and all that. So at the end of the day, you lose your focus. And once you lose the focus, that particular business will not achieve its goals. And therefore, when you have a business plan, it acts as a blueprint of the business that you want to do. And also, it gives you the guiding principle that you need to follow for you to do what? To succeed. Now, what are the qualities of a good business plan? A good business plan, it is simply needs to be clear. You need simplicity and clarity. That is the reason as to why we are doing this, so that you are able to know that a business plan is not something very complex. It is something that is simple and clear on how you are going to start your business and how you are going to run it, what are the objectives you want to achieve, and how do you intend to achieve that. And therefore, your business plan should be simple to understand. The sentences should flow in a logical way, meaning that you need to have logical flow of your sentences, and each sentence should carry its own idea, meaning that you do not have to keep repeating whatever that you have said. Number two, your business plan needs to be brief and straight to the point. It needs to be brief and straight to the point. Number three, it needs to be logic, meaning that it should have a logical flow of ideas from one idea to the other. So one paragraph should connect to the other paragraph so that you can have a coherently flowing business plan. Number four, it should be true. Yeah, you need to establish your business on truth, or on the ground of honesty in yourself. Because if, for example, you are starting a business and this is how you are going to run it, you find that if you are not true to yourself, you will end up having exaggerated figures. For example, you're starting to a business and you're saying, I'm going to get a profit of, for every item that I sell, I'm going to get a profit of 100 shillings. Let's say you are doing, for example, hospitality industry and you're making chapatis, for example. You know very well what one chapati goes at around 20 bob, and you want to make a profit of 10 bob, for example, or up to 30 from one chapati, and therefore you will decide I will be selling my chapatis at 100 shillings. But the population you are selling to is not the population that can be able to purchase at 100 shillings. They will definitely go to your competitor. So you need to look at what business you're going to do and establish the truth, how you are going to run your particular business without overstating the fact. Number five, which is the last point, of course, is that you need to use figures, words, which must be backed by figures, especially when dealing with the financial planning. You know that in your business plan, you do what we call the financial planning. How do you intend to use your finances? How much do you have in the first place? And how do you plan to use it so that you can be able to create a profit? So that is how, those are some of the good qualities or the qualities of a good business plan. And therefore, once you do that, we are good to go. But what should my business plan entail? A business plan entails a smart cover. So you start, the first page of your business plan is the cover page. So at the cover page here, this is where you actually look at your business in terms of what is the name of your business, and you also look at your address, where you found, where is the business located, and who is this that is writing the business plan. So which means that some of the information that we expect at the cover page is the name of the business, the address, that is, you need to give us your PO box number, and then the telephone number, the email, and if you have an organization logo, you can also have it at the page, that is at the first page. Then you can also look at who is writing the business plan. For example, let's say you are the one doing the business plan. Who are you in the organization? Either you are the CEO of your organization, you are the manager, or you are the director, or you are maybe somebody who has been given the responsibility by the management to write. So you should be able to identify or say who is actually doing the business. Then your page two should have the type of content where you indicate what is inside your particular business plan. Then after that, you go to the next, which is an executive summary. An executive summary. So an executive summary is usually written last, meaning that you do an executive summary after you have finished your plan, because an executive summary gives a summary of all items that have been discussed within your business plan. It gives us a short preview of what the business plan is about. So it summarizes the important points in each chapter, and should not be less than let's say 5 to 8 lines. And in this case, it should be 1.5 pages or less. And it summarizes, number one, your business description. Well, what business do I want to run? How is this business? How do you describe your business? For instance, for example, if I'm starting, let's say, a beauty business, you need to describe your business. For example, tell us about the beauty industry. How is the beauty industry? Is it growing? If you are talking about maybe, let's say, the electronics industry, how is the electronics industry? Is it changing with time? So you can tell us if it is a rapidly growing industry. How do you intend to change with time, or how do you intend to use that advantage to grow your business? And next, you look at the marketing plan. Which marketing plan do I have? Is the business going to use various methods of marketing? How am I going to reach out to the people? You are also going to look at the mode of business you are going to run. Which type of business am I going to run? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a partnership? Is it a company? So you need to identify the method or the form of business that you are going to run and the specific areas that you need to handle so that your business can be able to start effectively. Then you also need to look at the operational plan or the production plan. So now that you have decided, for example, this is how I'm going to do my business. Now, what are you producing? How are you going to produce it? If it is a business, for example, let's say a salon, how are you going to run it? Are you going to start that business immediately, and maybe you do not have even the employees who are going to run it, or you yourself you are not able to handle the number of employees that you and the number of clients that you intend to get. And therefore, it's always important to have that production and operation plan. Then, lastly, you will need to learn about, you will need to cover something small on the executive summary on financial planning. You give us a summary of how you will manage your finances and what you anticipate in terms of the expenditure for the first year, the second year, the third year, and what are the projected profits that you are likely to get. Then once you know that is the executive summary, but you see, this one will be done immediately after we are through with writing that particular business plan, so that you can give a summary of each. Now, on the second part there is what you need to do under business description. As you have seen from the executive summary, the first part that you need to look at is the business description. Under business description, you are now describing what your business is. In this case, we do number one about the background of the owner. So you can be able to describe who is this owner. For example, if for example you are so you want to start an executive salon in at the heart of Nairobi City, we want to know, for example, what is your background? Are you somebody who has trained in beauty industry, or you are somebody who trained in a different industry, but you want to venture into this beauty? Do you have the interest for it? You know, some people have a passion for something, where you find that somebody says that I've always had a passion in the beauty industry. So, despite the fact that I trained on another thing, I decided to do this. So when you're looking at the background, this is where you have an opportunity. If, for example, you are in the same field as the business that you want to start, this is the time you outline your strengths that you can enable you to do the business. You look at the name of the owner, the age of the person who wants to start the business. You look at even the marital status in terms of how you are going to run the business, and try to look at whether it's going to give you an advantage so that you can be able to run your business better. Look at the occupation, for instance, which is your area of specialization. Look at the education level. Then you can also look at the professional qualification and the business experiences that you have. If, for example, you have had an experience in running similar organization or similar business, at this particular point, you can be able to mention it under the background of the owner. The next is always show the relevance of this particular background to the business that you are currently doing. The second aspect that you need to do under business description is to write your business name. Up to now, maybe some of you may not have chosen their business name, but it's always important that before you even start your business, think through about the name. Now, how do you come up with a name? Your name of the business should actually reflect something that you are passionate with. Sometimes you find that people go and get a name that maybe does not resonate well to the services they are doing. Or somebody gets a name that is even so difficult for them to pronounce on their own. And therefore, when you get a name that you cannot even pronounce yourself, it actually becomes difficult for even people to refer you clients. Therefore, when you are looking for a name, your name has to be simple and it has to be memorable. meaning that when somebody looks at your name, they are able to remember that this is the name I saw somewhere. Or it should be a name that associates with what you are doing. So that when somebody thinks about the services, they are able to actually know that this is exactly what they do. So the name, you must know the meaning of your name, of course, the one that you start. It should have a meaning that if somebody explains, for example, asks you, why did you call your business Shining Institute of Professional Studies? You can be able to give a background on why the name. So if you have chosen your business, for instance, you have chosen, maybe you are doing a hair or a barber shop or something, and you have chosen, for example, a pretty hair salon. So in this case, somebody may associate your business or that particular venture that you want to start with making people look pretty. So in that case, when they look pretty, at the end of the day, you actually gain even more customers because of the name. So it should be a name that means something to your business. There is need to describe how the name was selected. Tell us if there are some who decide, for example, to start a business by combining either their first initials or their last initials. Then they form a name, which is a good name, of course, depending on how you look at it. Tell us, for example, if the name was formed by combining our first letters of our surnames, then we are able to understand that the business started here. So you need to describe how the name was selected, how it was arrived at. And number three, one needs to come up with a logo or the logo of the business. So there is need for you to come up with a logo or the logo of what? Of the business. So the logo of the business should be a logo that is memorable and that is attractive. For example, somebody, when you look at your logo or somebody looks at your logo, they are able to associate it with your brand. Then the logo becomes the identity of the business, meaning that even if somebody just sees the logo, they can be able to know that this is so and so running this particular business. Therefore, that is very important. Then the third aspect that you need to consider in your business description, look at the business location and address. So it means where the business will be located. Check on where your business will be located. For example, I want to start, let's say, my electronic shop. I want to know, for example, where is the business going to be located. The place also needs to be described in such a way that even you talk about accessibility to the place, talk about what makes the place suitable for your business. If, for example, you are talking about the location of an electronic shop or maybe, let's say, a salon, you can tell us that this business will be located or my business will be located in a busy, let's say, town. And in my business or in the place where I am going to locate my business, it will be located on the ground floor where there is high traffic of people passing. And in this case, it's a serene environment where many people will want to relax. And therefore, this is why I believe that this business will do what? Will be able to grow. Then you also need to tell us the general location of the area, if you're able to give us the topography of the area in terms of physical appearance. And then if, for example, it's a hotel and you have located your hotel in a good place where you're able to see, maybe, let's say, for example, if it is in Mombasa, you are able to say that this hotel is located in a place where you can be able to view the sea or the ocean, and you are actually able to enjoy the cool breeze from the ocean. It can actually be able to motivate somebody to say, wow, this is a good business. Then look at the site you are going to do, be specific on which area, and include a map. If it is possible to have the map of the place, you can include the map and the physical address, including the building, the email, and even if you have the website, you can be able to do that. Next is the form of ownership. Which form of ownership is going to be used in your business. Like now, you find that most SPOs or most small business owners start with a sole proprietorship. So if your business is going to be a sole proprietorship, you should be able to know what are the advantages and the disadvantages of a sole proprietorship. Look at partnership, for example. Maybe you have come a team of one or two people and you want to start your business. So if you see from your beginning, you are able to see some of the people that you can partner so that you can start the business together, then you can indicate that in your business plan so that you can be able to know that I will be partnering with so and so, then I will actually be running a partnership. And once you understand that you're going to run a partnership, always know what are the advantages of partnership and what are the main disadvantages of running your business as a partnership. And if your advantages are more or outweigh the disadvantages, then you can be able to proceed to do your business. Then also, you can have your business ownership as a private company. Private or public company, these are companies or these are organizations which are created and they have what we call the legal autonomy, or they are actually identified as artificial person, meaning that once you incorporate your business, it becomes a legal entity, meaning that it becomes like a different person from the owner. And therefore, you need to understand that in your partnership or in your business, once you register as a business company or a private company, it will be a different person from you. If, for example, you have a legal challenge facing your business or your organization, what happens is that the business actually stands for itself and it needs to defend itself. And therefore, you must be able to understand what are some of the advantages of running your business as a company and what are some of the disadvantages that you are likely to find. And therefore, if you decide, for example, let me go for it, you already understand how you can be able to overcome some of the challenges that you may have identified. So if you decide, for example, to do your business as a private company, then you should be able to tell us how you proceed to manage your particular business in the right way so that it can be able to give you the best outcomes. Also, you can do it as a cooperative where people come together and they form a cooperative. You give reason for choosing each type of ownership, meaning that for each type of ownership, give a reason, defend the reason as to why you chose to run your business in that particular class or in that particular form. Then give advantages and disadvantages to grow to the extent you understand about how that business form that you want to start. So tell us, for example, if I'm going to do it as a sole proprietor, why I decided to choose a sole proprietorship is because number one, I need the business to start very fast. Therefore, I need to do fast decision making. And this is actually one reason as to why I believe that if I run it as a single or as a sole proprietorship, I'm likely to move very fast so that I can be able to achieve the goals. Now, at this stage, also look at the type of business. It means whether the business is a startup or ongoing. So you need to tell us, for example, what level is the business you are writing the business plan. For example, if you are that person who is doing a business plan for an ongoing business, always understand that at this level, you can be able to tell us that my business is already past a startup stage. I'm actually at a growth stage, meaning that I'm able to expand the business because I want to expand the business to all the counties in Kenya or even outside the country. And that is the need, or that is why I need to do this business plan. And therefore, once you do the business plan, you are actually able to know that in this particular level, if I'm a startup, this is how I'm going to run the business for it to do what? To grow. Therefore, as a business, when you're doing a business plan, remember to write the type of business or the level of business that you are starting or you are writing the plan for. So whether it is a startup or it's an ongoing business, Give some of the activities that the business is doing or is likely to do. So, which means if it is a retail business, which is a startup, tell us this is what I will be doing and this is how I'll be doing it. The next is about the product and services. Which products or services are you offering? What product are you going to offer if it's a startup? Or if it's ongoing, which services are you offering? Describe clearly, yeah? Like you include the figures of the product. You can even include even the size, the color, the shape of the materials, the quality of the packaging, and even the quality of the product that you are going to sell. And actually give reasons as to why you know very well that the business you're going to do is going to meet the needs of your consumers. So you must be able to describe clearly how your product meets the market description or the market requirement or the market needs. This is why we said that some of the information you will get it from your customers. For example, if you want to create a healthcare facility, have you gone around and known what the problem of the people is? So once you know the problem that people face is this and this and this, how am I coming in to sort out the problem? So in other words, when you're doing your product and services, this is where you should dwell or you should spend most of your time. Tell us the products that you have, tell us the products that you're going to sell, who is going to be your customers, and what are their needs specifically, and how does your product actually solve their needs. Now, what benefits will customers obtain from using your products? E.g., you need to consider the performance, look at the convenience, look at the economy, and also look at the comfort, durability, look at the usage, look at the flexibility. Yeah, there are people who are doing, for example, or the online business where, let's say, for example, you are doing an online business and you are actually able to deliver your goods countrywide. Yeah. So this will always come with what we call convenience. Somebody is able to, for example, ask for something and is in Kisumu and you deliver where they are. So in terms of how do you create convenience for your particular clients? But at the same way, you need to also look at how is it convenient for me to run a business where I'm supposed to deliver the goods from Nairobi to Kisumu without affecting the cost. Therefore, you must be able to look at your business. Does it provide the convenience that is required? Or do I need, for example, to sell my item to, let's say, for example, a person staying in Kisumu? Then I tell them to come and pick from Nairobi when they can easily buy the same item in Kisumu. Therefore, what we are looking at is we need to look at the business and see how is it solving the problem of or the needs of your clients. Is it providing a solution or it is actually creating another problem? And if you realize it is creating a problem, you can be able to restructure at that level. So uh, the servicing, for example, you are selling a machine to someone, you need to know how it is going to be serviced. Is it me who is going to service it, or they are going to pay you to service it, or they are going to service it on their own? How available are the spare parts, or how available are the people who can be able to service the machines? And therefore, this is where you actually do much of the marketing or much of telling us about your product and the services that you are likely or that you are going to offer. The other thing that you need to look at is the justification of the opportunity. Justification of the opportunity. Now, for you to justify an opportunity is justified by looking at all this that we have done. Can you justify that it's a good business to do? For example, if you want money, of course, you need some money from a bank or you need some money from another organization that is funding, let's say, startup entrepreneurs, or you've gotten an investor. You must be able to justify this business opportunity to show them that it is a viable business. So the reason for choosing that kind of business, e.g., exploiting the resources, natural nutritional value of maybe opportunity that you are creating, the niche in the market that you want to fill. For example, if you are feeling the niche, for example, let's say somebody has started a business where they will be able to provide, let's say, storage facilities in all the major towns. Yeah, you are trying to look at in this particular niche, who am I targeting, and which problem am I targeting to solve. So a niche is somewhere where you cut yourself that particular space so that you are able to provide the services that only you can be able to provide. Look at the technology advancement in terms of justification. You can be able to justify your need and say, I'm uh, getting into this business because technology has grown from this to this. And that is why my company coming in or my organization coming in, I believe that it will enable me to utilize the available technology so that I can be able to leverage on this particular technology to create income. And therefore, you can be able to check also the professional qualification, where if, for example, you are a trained hairdresser or you are a trained cosmetologist, you can be able to justify the why you are starting that executive salon, so that somebody looking at the that particular business plan will be able to say, since he's a trained cosmetologist, I know very well that this person is able to generate what he's saying, and therefore this person is likely, or this organization is likely to finance you. Also, you look at the unmet demand. Yeah, for example, I'm starting my business, and this is the demand that I'm coming in to meet, or this is the gap that I'm coming in to fill. So, for you, for example, to start, let's say you are starting, let's say, a hotel, and you are starting a hotel where several people have started hotels. Is there any unmet demand that you want to come in to achieve, or you want to come in to compete with the others? So if you are coming in to actually meet that unmet demand, then this is where you find that your business will never actually go out of the market, because of what you have studied, you have done your business research, you have come to realize that people need the service that you want to provide, or the goods that you want to provide, or the product that you want to give them. So if they need that, that means that there is a demand which has not been met by the current suppliers. And therefore, when my organization is coming in, it's coming in to assist in meeting this demand. And in the process of meeting the demand, of course, you make the money. Then there is also what we call climate favorable infrastructure and security, where you talk about the security of the area, how does it favor you, the climate in terms of, let's say, for example, you are starting a business that needs actually to be placed in a place where the climate is friendly. For example, you have started a business, and you are putting your business in places which are dry, for example, and you do not have a way you can supply water for irrigation, then you will definitely have a challenge. So you will need, for example, if I want to practice agribusiness, it is either I have ways of getting water for irrigation so that I can create and grow food in those areas which do not have food, or I need to practice my agribusiness in places where the climate can actually do what? Support. And therefore, you actually need that. Look at the infrastructure. Maybe I'm starting a business that is technology related and it's going to use internet. And I don't have internet infrastructure around my area. How am I going to operate? So you must be able to look at which infrastructure is available and how do I utilize the available infrastructure to grow my business. The next one is the industry. Look at the industry that your business belongs to. Yeah. So in that description, explain the industry of your proposed business. E.g., if you are starting a matatu business or transport business, tell us this is in the transport industry, and this is the dynamics in the transport industry, and this is why I feel like this business can be able to succeed. Consider the total number of firms that industry has, or the competitors. What is the industry trend? Is the industry growing or declining? So you must be able to look at if your industry is growing or it is declining, or is it stable. So explain what's happening in that particular industry. If it is the health industry, if it is the education industry, or if it is the technology industry. Like now, if you look at the people who ventured into the selling of phones, yeah, if you then sell your stock very fast, very new other new phones are coming into the market, and those phones that used to be classy sometimes back like 5 years ago are not classy anymore, and now people are looking for the new ones which have improved features. And therefore, always look at the stability of your industry. If it's not stable, you should be able to know how to deal with your stock so that you don't end up having dead stock where you have acquired the stock, but due to changes in the industry, it is not going. And therefore, you end up having a dead stock. Then also look at the industry characteristics, that is capital requirement. Is it a capital intensive industry? Look at also things like the labor requirement. Is it a labor intensive industry, or it is an industry that requires both of them? So you need to actually look at that. Then uh, after that, it's also important to look at the goals of your business. Goals of your business. I normally ask, what are goals? Yeah, what are the goals of your business? You have started the business, yes, or you want to start the business. What is the goal, or what is the objective of you starting that particular business? So a goal does what goal does the business want to achieve in the long term? For example, if you want to become a quality leader or a market leader, it is important for you to look at how you are going to come up with quality products. And you also need to look at, how do I penetrate the market so that you can be able to become a household name. So for you to become a quality leader or a market leader in a specific business industry, you need to look for ways in which you can be able to give quality, you can be able to penetrate the market very fast, and how you can be able to sustain yourself in the market once you penetrate into the competitors' market. Now, you must be able to look at who are your competitors and what are they doing actually, so that you can be able to do what? To match their growth, so that you are not left behind. So always be on the lookout to know, how do I continue pushing so that I can be able to achieve my goals at the required time. Then also, the last thing I want to cover this afternoon is about, what objectives do I have for this business? What does the business want to achieve as a short term? So, when we talk about objective, in this case, you want to look at those short term goals. Yeah. The short term goals is, we normally call them the objectives. Yeah. For example, to maximize profits. Yeah. Or increase the sales, minimize the cost. All these are short term goals that you have, but they are actually referred to as the objectives, because you usually make them, either you can do them quarterly, or you can do them monthly, or you can do them weekly, depending on how often you decide to evaluate your objectives. And therefore, it's always important that when you start your business, you should be having the objectives that you want to achieve and at what time. Therefore, it's always good, so that when you do your business planning, you should be able to have your objectives at hand. And therefore, that is exactly what I wanted us to cover for today. And next time, we will be able to cover the entry and the growth strategy. How do we enter into the business, and how do I start to grow? So that is the second topic, or that is the second part that you need to cover when you are doing a business plan. So for today, I want to stop there. In case of any question, do not hesitate. You can be able to put it in the chat, or you can be able to contact us through our WhatsApp group, or direct to our institution. So thank you so much. You can leave us a comment, or you can be able to ask whatever that is not clear with you. Thank you, and have a lovely day.